I was not planning to become a physiotherapist in Germany.
Okay.
It was not my plan.
The 7 years.
Well, there's a huge difference between India and Germany.
True. Yeah. Process, but it's doable.
In German, like Hexenschuss.
Yeah.
You know what is Hexenschuss? It means a witch's arrow. But they call it for mechanical back pain, a sudden back pain.
Means medical German is also very important to understand, otherwise you'll be very blank.
Yeah, true.
Hello guys, so I'm Siddhi.
Myself Ram.
And we are physiotherapists working in Germany.
Hi. And we are both now in Frankfurt.
Yeah, true. Okay, so we're just going to start with the introduction part right now. Okay, so you guys know that where do we come from and when did we come to Germany and why did we come to Germany. So yeah, let's start with you, Ram. When did you come to Germany?
End of 2017, like November, December of 2017, but I was coming here as a student. I did my master's here. And I was not planning to become a physiotherapist in Germany.
Okay.
It was not my plan.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Well, I was already a clinical physiotherapist in India. I was running my own clinic.
Yeah.
And in India, I started my own physiotherapy software called Physio.
Okay.
And I noticed that in India, using a physiotherapy software is not mandatory. So it's not a great market in India. Although there are many physiotherapists, it is not mandatory to use a software in India. So I thought, okay, let's go to any Western country.
Okay.
And when I did a research for all the Western countries, although it is easy to go to UK, Canada, Australia, I chose Germany because I can see that there is a strong economical growth here. So that's why I chose to come here and to do my master's here. That too, not in the hope of becoming a physiotherapist here, but to bring the software here.
All right. Oh, interesting. I think you have done your master's in medical informatics.
Medical informatics.
Not like a sports physio
No,
or something
no.
like
Of
that.
course, it is not. I mean, it's not my plan to be a physiotherapist at all. It's just medical informatics so that I understand this software industry and launch the business here.
Yeah, crazy. And which university did you do your master's from?
It's Degendorf Institute of Technology.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that course lasted for 2 years?
It's a 2-year program, but I took 1 year additionally to do my master thesis. And by the time I'm about to submit the master thesis came Corona.
Oh.
Then I have to wait some time, and then finally it kept on coming wave by wave. So I just published my thesis in the middle of Corona. So now in the middle of Corona, I have finished my master's and now I am supposed to start my startup or to join a software company.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And it's been, I think, almost 7 years now for you
Yeah.
in Germany?
No, it's more than 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, almost 7 years.
Yeah, almost 7 years. And how was your experience? Like when you started your master's, then as you started working as a physiotherapist, right now you're working as a physiotherapist. So how was your experience working in Germany in the 7 years?
Well, there's a huge difference between India and Germany.
True. Yeah.
Well, in India, you have a lot of freedom to do any treatment. You just learn and you just implement it. But here, there is a process, there is a system. You are a part of the system.
Yeah.
So you follow the rules.
Yeah.
And you get a better reward here when you follow the rules.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's right. And what are the hardships you faced? Like, of course, we know the recognition process. We know the language is difficult.
Luckily, I didn't face the hardship in recognition process.
What?
It was a blind luck, I would say. My hardship was only the language because I was here already for 3 years or 4 years during the Corona.
Yeah.
So at that time, I'm already exposed to the language.
Okay.
I'm already exposed to the people. I'm already exposed to the culture. So the moment I landed, I was inside the middle of the German culture. I was not among the students. Like it's a small town and very less students were there. And when I do sports, when I go to party, it was all surrounded by only Germans.
Oh.
and my close friends were all Germans. For the first 2-3 years, I was completely surrounded by Germans.
Okay.
So I learned the culture.
Correct.
And I understood what to talk, how to behave, what is the expectation of an average German,
Yeah.
how they want to see us. So all this I understood, and just understanding the language was a hardship for me because I was in the middle of Bayern, where there's a strong
Oh,
accent.
wow. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
So it was a strong accent completely. You cannot understand even a single
Yeah.
word. So that was the only hardship I had. But then when I started the American process, when I submitted the documents, they themselves like followed that you just have to submit your B2 certificate. Then I submitted my B2 certificate. You wouldn't believe that they were just waiting for my B2 certificate. Once my B2 certificate reached them, the next working day they signed my certificate and sent it to me. I mean, the physiotherapy urkunde.
Oh,
Nothing.
so no knowledge test or no Lehrgangs process, adaptation course or something
Nothing.
was not done.
Nothing. Even the process is like, say, I applied while my B1 language course, and my applications have reached them, and I submitted my B2 certificate.
Yeah.
This is the time for me to complete my B1 to B2 is the time they took to do my evaluation. And that's it. They did not ask for any additional certificate. They did not ask for Anpassungslehrgang or Kenntnisprüfung,
Okay.
nothing.
And can you tell me when did you get your Urkunde? Which year exactly?
2021 or 2. It's a September. I think 21.
21,
or
because
22. I'm not sure. Yeah.
yeah, because I came in 22 and I had to follow the whole process.
I'm not sure the whole process actually. I was doing it in a remote region in Bayern. So maybe there they had a lot of time to go through this, and they took more time to read my syllabus or transcript.
Okay, yeah, possibly, because now it's a different process, and
Yeah.
we know that, and we're already telling the people
Yeah.
how the process is, the documentation and everything. So it's not that simple. It's a long process, but it's doable.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. Yeah, the basic part is the language. You have to learn the language. That's the base here. For us medical professionals, language is the base for communication.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving ahead now, I want to know about your brand, which you have created, the Physio and Meduniverse app. I think I really like the name Physio. I've told you that before also. How did you
Yeah.
come up with that?
Well, because we know that we are doing this service for Indian physiotherapists, and in Deutschland, DE, dot in is India, dot DE is Deutschland.
Yeah.
So I combined both, called Physio. And eventually I noticed that there are more interests among other healthcare professionals also.
Yeah.
So that's when I renamed or rebranded it to Meduniverse. And now we have rebranded Physio to Meduniverse.
Okay.
And we have a brand name, we have a mobile app website where
Yeah.
people can download the app and they can start practicing their German and medical German. Just now you said about the medical German. So when I started, it was difficult for me to communicate with the patient. Of course, I know exactly what the patient is saying, what the patient is having the problem, because I've been running my own clinic.
Yeah.
So even by looking at the patient, we can see what is the problem, and by the way they walk, they sit, we know that where is the issue is. But then how do you communicate with them, and how do you understand when they use a layman German term? If they are using typical medical terminologies, it is a Latin word which you will understand.
Yeah.
If they say spondylosis, you
That
will
we
understand.
yeah.
But if they are saying in German, like Hexenschuss,
Yeah.
you know what is Hexenschuss? It means a witch's arrow. But they call it for mechanical back pain, a
Yeah.
sudden back pain. So this is what you have to face is a medical German terminologies. Doesn't mean Latin terminologies, it is German terminologies.
German, like typical German. For
Yeah.
example, when I started when I started working here, I had no idea about the medical German. So when I started, I was learning simultaneously medical German. So, okay, when someone tells me Rückenschmerzen, okay, now I understand what is Rückenschmerzen, that means back pain. But now when the other patient tells me, okay, Kreuzschmerzen, now I'm like, okay, what's Kreuzschmerzen? Okay, that means also back pain.
Yeah.
Then lumbago means also back pain.
Yeah.
And then comes at Hexenschuh, that means also back pain. So one pain or one area will have different names, which you will eventually learn with time, and that is why the layman's medical German is also very important to understand. Otherwise, you'll be very blank.
Yeah, true.
So that is there. And moving on to your website, your Meduniverse app. So you said you have the app, you said you have the website as well. Yeah. What was the purpose of creating this?
Well, actually, when we initially started, we did not have a mobile app. Okay. Well, initially, first of all, before telling about the mobile app, I want to let you know why I started this process at all. Because when I searched for a job as a software, because of my master's in medical informatics, I searched for a job. I couldn't find a job in the middle of Corona. Either it is Corona or the industry, but I couldn't find a job there. And then I learned German language, started applying to physiotherapy clinics, physiotherapy practices, hospitals. Then I found that wherever I sent my applications, I was invited for interview, and everyone were asking, do you have a certificate? Then start working. So the physiotherapy Urkanda, if you have it, start working. So that's when exactly I realized that, okay, in one side, when I did my master's also, it is difficult to find a job. The other side, even before the certificate, even before qualification, they were asking me, bring your certificates and join the job. So I can see that there is a huge disparity between the industries. So I want to let this opportunity to be known to Indian physiotherapists. So that is why I organized a webinar. I mean, in fact, that too was a big story, because when people approached me to ask questions, I said, well, every week someone is asking for a half an hour of phone call, and instead of talking to one person, just bring all your friends, organize a webinar. That's the first step that happened. When they were organizing the webinar, I spread the word across my contacts. And what's the action plan? After they attend the webinar, then they go home and there is nothing, there is no action is going on.
There's no effort from that side.
Then I also saw that my effort is going waste. Then I connected those people who wanted, after the webinar, to join to my German teacher to learn the German language. What happened? They are having difficulty in learning the language. In between, they are dropping out. So it's a waste of time for the German teacher also. So then we realized, okay, we should have a professional system in organizing it. Then we organized regular classes with mobile apps, logins, where they upload their documents and they register for the course. And now we are an end-to-end program. When they have their B1 certificate and degree certificate, they get a job and they're placed here, and we even support them find an apartment here. We even support them in opening a bank account here, getting insurance here, complete. Like, if you are an eligible physiotherapist in India, you come here and start your life here as a physiotherapist. End to end, it's completely available in our mobile app.
And I've seen the app. I mean, it is a dream app for the Indian physiotherapist who wants to work in Germany, because it has A to Z everything for the document collection, from document collection to translations to A1 to B2 language, plus the medical German, which has been now introduced new, plus the job interviews, the employers, everything is set up in the app, and you can follow the pathway yourself. I think that's the best one can get, instead of luring here and there and just asking some random agencies and consultancies, because there are so many scams happening right now. And especially this opportunity card visa and job seekers visa. Many people who have got the opportunity card, they cannot get a physiotherapy job. You cannot just come directly on opportunity card or job seeker visa and work here. That is not allowed. It's not possible, because it's a regulated profession. If you are a software engineer, you are just working on a computer,
this profession is not regulated in Germany. So you come here, you work, you get a search for a job, you get a job, start working with a computer. But you are a physiotherapist who are going to work on a human body.
Yeah.
So there is a regulation here that is allowing you to practice in Germany. And when you come in opportunity card, do you qualify to work as a physiotherapist here? Do you have language level? Do you have physiotherapy certificate? Then you are allowed to work as a physiotherapist. And that too, you have to have B2 completed, then it is possible. But there is another process without opportunity card, without spending so much money, that is called skilled immigration policy. So, do you want to explain
Fast-track
about
process.
it?
The fast-track
The
process.
fast track process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can go ahead. You can
Yeah.
explain.
Well, the fast track process is actually introduced for the healthcare professionals, including nurses, physiotherapists, doctors, to come to Germany even before the Anerkennung process. The German government knows that Anerkennung is a long process, so they introduced this fast track process. According to this process, if you have B1 certificate, you are eligible to start the process. Once you have B1 certificate, you sit for the interview with an employer, you get the job contract, then you are applying. You are not applying, your employer is applying on. If you apply, it's not fast track process.
Yeah.
Your employer has to apply. If you are directly applying to a German Anerkennung, it is considered as a regular process. They will ask you each and every document, and regular Anerkennung, for that you have to finish B2, then they will take 6 months to 9 months to reply, and then you have a deficit beside. This is a regular process. In fast track process, your employer collects all your documents with the power of attorney of you, and then he submit it to the Regierung, to the government, to the Anerkennung body, and they will allow you to come. They will give you a pre-approved visa. They will of course do the Anerkennung also. They will also give you a deficit beside, but it will be done within 3 to 4 months, and by 5th month they will start issuing you a pre-approved visa. In 6th to 7th month you will be already in Germany, starting to work as a physiotherapist. So this all happens, physiotherapy assistant.
Yeah.
You are going to starting to work as a physiotherapy assistant. This all happens in 6 to 7 months when you have your B1 certificate. But if you are finishing B2, applying yourself, it will take another 1 year.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why there's a reason why it's called fast track process, because it's a guaranteed job offer which is connected with the employer. Okay, so if you do it yourself, you have to hunt everything, and that's going to take 1 to 1.5 years. But with fast track process, the things can be a little easier, and it's not unlike my time. So I had to wait for, so mine was Corona time, so I anyway had to wait for 1.5 to 2 years. So that was a really long time in spite of the fast track process because of the Corona time.
Yeah.
But now, because of the fast track process, now everything is free and it's happening faster. So within 6 to 7 months, you can be here. It's just that the language you need, and you need that. Okay. Now, moving on to, so we're just gonna discuss some pros and cons, both actually, working as a physiotherapist in Germany. This podcast we are doing for awareness, because we have lots of DMs. I think both of us, we have lots of DMs, lots of consultations happening, asking the same question again and again. So that's why we came up with this idea of doing a podcast episode wise, so that we can reach many people and it'll be clear on what the process is and how we are helping and etc. Yeah, so we're going to talk now about the pros and cons of working in Germany, so that you understand that, yeah, there are a lot of advantages, but yeah, we have some drawbacks also of working in Germany. So we'll start with that.
The main advantage of working in physiotherapy is just you have a job security here, and the social system here is very strong that in case of losing your job, the system supports you. In India, if you lose your job because you had an accident, you had a fracture, or you have a maternity leave, or if your company is closed, in all this scenario, you are safe in Germany. That is one thing which I like it, and that is if this what I said right now is common for all the jobs in Germany.
Yeah, correct.
But when it comes to physiotherapy, this is funded by the insurance companies. Like say, everyone is paying insurance, health insurance, and physiotherapy is paid by this insurance. Not paid from the pocket from the patient. So the clinic does not have any, it is the clinic's flow is not affected by the economy of the country. In case the economy of the country is going down, still people will have back pain, still people will have neck pain or knee pain. They go to the therapist, and the therapist does the treatment, and the insurance company is paying because they have already paid regularly health insurance premium. Of course, this all is supported by the economy of the state, but still it takes a long time to affect it. But in case of India, if there is any small economical change, you can see that, oh, now there is this season, this is a election time, this is a festival time. So this will affect the patient flow of a practice. But that kind of affection problem is not there in Germany.
True. Yeah. So my side, I would say, I think it's more flexible working plus the work-life balance. We have a great work-life balance.
Yeah, true.
You can select whether you want to work part-time or whether you want to work full-time. You can select your hours or how many hours you want to work per week. And yeah, weekends are majorly off in practice. But when you are working in hospitals or somewhere, you might have certain duties. But then that's also fine because the hours are flexible. And I think when it comes to sick leave or something like that, it's not that okay, you have to work when you're sick. When you're when you're sick, for example, you are today evening you're not feeling well, so you already applied, you already mentioned to the employer that you are sick and you just have to stay at home for maybe 1 day, and the second day you will need the medical certificate. So it's not that you have to work when you're sick, which happens majority of the times in India, because you have to like literally fight for the sick leaves also. Yeah. And as about the insurance part, if we see about the pension insurance, so we have as Physio, so we have also pension insurance going on. So if you are working for about 40 to 45 and then you choose to retire, you can stay here and you can get your pension income again ongoing. And plus you have a lot of other benefits, other investments which you can make while you're working. That comes to the later part. I think there are many. So I just want to mention maternity leave for benefits. So for females who are working, so we have like 14 weeks to 6 weeks, like 6 weeks before due date and 8 weeks after birth. So in total, 14 weeks of maternity, and you are paid 13 hour for 13 euro per hour. So which is I think 900 euros per month or something like that for maternity leave. But then if you want to extend that, you can extend that with parental leave. So that is the added.
Yeah.
So once you come to Germany, all these things will be clear. You need to also research it yourself and read about it, because these things are something which you will understand, and not just about theory what's written, but also when you go through the systems, when you go through it practically.
There are numerous benefits actually, which we can't explain because whatever we said are very basic for all the professions. But when it comes to physiotherapy, there are still more additional benefits you have. And along with that, every contract, every employer can give you additional benefits too. Compared to India, here you have support from the employer to attend certificate courses and they pay for it. And still much more benefits you have.
Yeah, true. Also the respect, the amount of respect we get here as a physiotherapist is, I mean, you are complimented for every job you do here. So there's a major difference. Yeah, it's also about the awareness, I would say, or the education compared to when I compare it to India, the people do not know this is a thing now they do, but they're still learning about it. But here, even if physiotherapy is not the first contact or the appointments are always full, you will see people waiting for appointments for about 1 to 2 months. There are a lack of therapists here, and that's why we are doing all of this, so that the people who want to come here, this makes easier, at least to explain. that I think, do you want to talk about the salaries or just?
Yeah, salary is a range actually. It is
Yeah.
not that it's this is not like for this is the amount exactly they can say. It starts from and it can go up to. It's based on the location,
Yeah.
based on your qualification, and based on employer to employer it changes. But there is a average level is there. You should know that minimum salary in Germany is now 13 euro, like 12.9 or something. That's the minimum salary in any other industry, not in physiotherapy. I'm saying that if you are working in McDonald's or anywhere, a minimum 1 hour salary is around 12.9. But if you are a physiotherapist, you get minimum of, let's say, 18. 18 is the minimum salary you get as a physiotherapist, and it can go up to 20, 21 based on the qualifications. And when you come to Germany in the fast track process, you are not yet a physiotherapist. You are still a physiotherapy assistant. So you are paid 16, 17, or 15 based on which city you are.
Yeah. So that was about the advantages parts of or that is the pros. Okay. So let's talk about the cons. So that is a little disadvantages space there. Okay. We'll talk about the cons part right now. That is the certain disadvantages, or I will not say disadvantages, but drawbacks what we have as a physiotherapist in Germany. Because we don't want to just say all the positive parts. There are certain negatives, so we want to focus on that also. Yeah, so I'm just going to start with the first one, and that is the first contact as a physiotherapist. So in India, the patient or the people can come to physiotherapist directly, right? Without a doctor's prescription. But that is not the case in Germany. Yeah, in Germany, we are not the first contact healthcare professionals here. The patients go to the orthopedic or to the physician, get a prescription from them, which is a generalized prescription like chronic gymnastic, which means exercise therapy, or manual therapies, or manual limb drainage, depending on whatever the diagnosis is. But this is a vague prescription. Okay, for example, they just write diagnose the shoulder pain. But what exactly in shoulder pain that you need to diagnose. So when the patient comes to you, so you have to do all the examination, history, mental assessment, test, and then you come to a conclusion, okay, this. And the treatment part is also your decision. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. You want to mobilize the patient, you want to do some exercise therapy, or you want to do some soft tissue mobilization or do kinesiotomy. So that everything is your part. Apart from electrotherapy. Electrotherapy, again, you need prescription from the doctor. Yeah. In certain cases.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying this as a con. Here, the con is that the number of sessions cannot be decided by us. We can decide the treatment. If you want to do manual therapy or exercise therapy, it's up to you or the patient. But how many times the patient is visiting you for this problem? That is exactly limited because it is paid by the insurance company. And I don't really understand that this con is there because when insurance company pays for you, how do they know that this money is used for the welfare of the patient? So they have to set a break. They have to have a review if the patient is getting better or not. So this is a multiple checking system of how the money is flowing through the system. So I'm not saying that is a con. It is how it has to be to have a beneficial system.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. When insurance company is paying for it, they need to have a controlled flow of the money. So that is why they have limitation in the number of sessions. And I understand that.
Yeah. But yeah, so limitation is also like giving the patients a 6 sessions. So one prescription has 6 sessions, and of course 6 sessions are not enough.
Yeah, of course.
To get better.
Yeah.
So we have to recommend them.
True.
Another result.
True.
So I think one patient for one diagnosis, or we'll get 3 recepts, prescriptions for 1 quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if it's better for it, it's not better, then he has to wait for
next quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he'll get another result in the next quarter. So that's how it is. But that that's in my opinion,
True.
it hampers research.
Yeah, it hampers the process. Imagine this process without any restriction. That can be overuse of this one. Like say, imagine some patient who is having psychological problem. They say that they are having a problem, and they keep on get prescriptions. They don't get recovered. So here, what happens if after this three prescription, if it is there is no recovery or is no change, if they can't wait for the next quarter, then they have to be assessed for another treatment or another specialist. They should be sent to a neurologist or orthopedician or psychologist and then find out why it is not improving. Imagine 18 times the patient is getting treatment and then 18 times or twice in a week. So this is an understandable restriction, I believe.
Okay, but that's how the system is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then another thing is it's only for foreign service like we have already discussed about the documentation process, the language, the recognition process. Yeah, it's a little lengthy, but it's lengthy because they have the system here. Yeah, and I think the system is very strong. So that is the thing they check all the documents. So even if we have a bachelor's degree from India, most of them will have a partial recognition because maybe there is some deficits. Yeah, you find some deficits here, and you have to fulfill that so that you get used to the German system. And yeah, but that's how it is. But yeah, the process is lengthy. If you are through it once, it's not a problem at all. So you yourself understand how it works and everything. Because I get a lot of DMs saying, "Oh, the process is too lengthy," and then people give up in between because it's
That is the problem.
Yeah,
because learning German is, of course, difficult. Imagine learning your mother tongue. Imagine ask a foreigner to come and learn your mother tongue.
Yeah.
Do you think it is easy for them to learn in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? So you have to learn this in a slow process way. So that way you have levels A1, A2, B1, B2. Unfortunately, you have from B1 possibility to start. So of course it is lengthy, but if you drop out, you are dropped out forever.
Yeah. So it's just about the patience and language learning. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's not impossible as well. Yeah, you can do it because there's a lot of candidates who approach us or who start the process who have finished A1, A2, but when it comes to B1, then okay, they fail once and then they'll just not appear again.
Yeah.
With me, when I say I have failed B2 twice, but I still gave it because I wanted to. It's not impossible. You have to keep trying it. Yeah. So it's always I would say that just keep trying and be motivated. If you are really interested in this process, you will really.
Yeah, and you will really start loving the language. Trust me, when you are studying B1, B2, it looks like something very illogical because of the does and all those things. But once you are communicating with the patients, when you are understanding their local accent and how they express, in German they call Ausdruck, how they express certain moods and pains and things, you will start loving the language actually.
Another one I just want to mention is I think you can also take a 20-minute treatment time session.
25. It's 25 minutes.
It's 25 minutes in your practice?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, it's different for each practice. So where I'm working, there it is 20 minutes. Okay, it's 20 minutes of education because the treatment session depends on what is prescribed. So a normal exercise therapy session will be 20 minutes. Okay, again, yeah, it's difficult, but it's not impossible because you need to have the skills of quick assessment and everything that will come with practice. That's why whenever I have a consultation with someone and they ask me, okay, what should I do? To come to Germany to learn something new, I just tell them quick assessment skills because that is very important. Yeah. It's not for every patient you will have. So when you have the patient coming to you every session you have something new. Yeah, every session you have some new complaints, you have some new information. So the assessment part plus the treatment part, everything in 20 minutes. Initially, it will be a little haywire, but then you will get used to it, and then you will also realize, oh, the patients do get better in 20 sessions. Correct?
Yeah, you don't have to sit an entire hour with one patient when actually the problem can be as simple as metaphalanx problem, or if it is just a small mechanical neck pain, you may be able to handle it in 20 minutes. And in my practice, it is 25 minutes. And the patients may take a couple of minutes to get ready, and then you have 20 minutes of treatment. That's totally fine. And for me, it totally works actually. And you will get used to it.
Yeah, eventually you will. One last thing about the consultancy is, what do you think about the salary and cost of living for a single person if she's single versus a couple versus a family?
This is a good topic to discuss, not only based on physiotherapy industry, but also generally compared to regular German salary and their taxes. In Germany, taxes are based on your salary. From India, there are many engineers are coming to Germany, and they are getting salary very high, like 75K or 80K they are getting, and they are paying almost 40 to 45% of tax. But if you are a physiotherapist, you don't get paid that much. You are not paid that much tax. So totally, your tax and salary would be, say, 20 to 25% for a physiotherapist. It cannot be more than that.
Mm-hmm. And plus, I think, so I come across many tax saving investment plans.
Yes.
Right? So when you take that along, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, and not only that, this 20% is not completely tax. You are paying it for your saving, you are paying it for your pension, you are paying it for your health insurance, you are paying it for your social insurance, you are paying it for your nursing insurance, and there's also one more important insurance for physiotherapists. It's called Unfähigkeit. Means if you are having an injury, falling down, losing your finger or something, you cannot practice as a physiotherapist anymore.
Yeah.
Then this insurance will cover you for your life. So that is why it is safe to pay for this insurance.
Okay, then we're coming to the one last question for this episode, and that is it worth coming to Germany as a foreign physiotherapist?
Yes, it is several times worth, not because I'm running this business.
Yeah.
I am feeling happy that I'm here right now. I'm not in India. Of course, I miss my family. Of course, I'm not happy with the winter, cold here. But when I'm working here, when I'm interacting with the patient, it makes it worth it.
True. I think in my case also, I would say 100% yes for me. Yeah, Germany was not my first choice, but it's my destiny, and I feel great staying there. It is just not about the process. Yeah, like Ram said, you have to stay in the system, you have to know the system, and eventually you'll get used to the system. Plus, you have to stay in the long-term benefits. Like if you are a young physiotherapist, you want to move somewhere, you are thinking of Germany, then this is the best decision I would say for long-term. If you want to stay here, also look at the demand of the jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a very high demand for
very
a
high
job.
demand.
If you are qualified, you are always welcome.
Yeah. And plus, it is not for someone who is impatient and who is giving up on language. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Again, we need to mention that if you are someone interested, a physiotherapist from India interested to move to Germany, then definitely do contact us. And I will mention the link below. Anything else you want to mention before we?
If you already have B1 certificate,
Yeah.
right now apply. We are recruiting in the next few weeks. I myself is starting my own clinic, physiotherapy practice in Germany within the next 6 months. We are already looking for places and it'll start. So I myself need people.
Perfect. Good. So then, yeah, get in touch with us if anything. And if you have any questions, you can also comment down below, and we will definitely take your question and answers. Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I thank you. And do share this video with the ones you feel who need to know this, who need to see this, watch this, and then contact us. Okay. All right. Have a nice day, and yeah, ciao ciao.
Thank you. Bye bye.